Hi guys, I hope you're good and yeah, I hope I find you well. Actually, I'm just here to share with you a short devotion or a short message, something that I learned like I think 2 days ago, but then yeah, I'm just sharing it now. I'm so sorry for delaying. But anyways, okay, so I was led to read the book of Genesis chapter 1. Yes, guys, Genesis chapter 1. Imagine. Uh, uh, um, a book that is well known, especially the chapter, but somehow, yeah, I had to read it. But, anyways, as I was reading it, I ended up reading Genesis chapter 2 as well, and then I stumbled upon Genesis chapter 2, verse 5. Not stumbled, but what is it? But I stopped. I don't know how to put it, but you know what I mean, right? Okay, so Genesis chapter 2, verse 5, it says, when no bush of the field was yet on the land, and no small plant of the field had yet sprung up, for the Lord had not caused it to rain, and here's the part, there was no man to work the ground. Yeah, guys, when I actually read this, I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Doesn't it say that God said, let there be? Like let there be plants and vegetation. That is found I think in Genesis chapter 1 verse 11 and 12, where it says, and God said let there be vegetation and plants yielding whatnot and whatnot. But now it's saying that when no bush of the field was yet in the land, sorry about that, and no small plant of the field had yet sprung out, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain. Like, what are you telling me? You're telling me that the ground is bare, or not bare, but it had no wild plants, and yet God said, let there be. Yeah, anyways, I finally got the answer. I actually got the answer today. Yeah, guys, in Genesis chapter 1 verse 12, it says, God said, let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding fields. No, not fields, sorry, seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, or something like that. So what he created were trees that produced fruits with seeds and all that, and vegetation. But then in Genesis chapter 2 verse 5, it says there were no bush. In another translation, it says there were no wild plants. When I searched what a wild plant is, it's something like grass, types of grasses, you know. So yeah, but anyways, those, of course, God would have just said, oh, let there be wild plants, but he didn't. And those wild plants were not there because there were no men to work the ground. And this is just lesson number one. I'm coming to lesson number one right now. Yes, sometimes um you just want to speak and just say the word and have faith, but action is also important. The Bible also says faith without works is meaningless. So you need to put in the work. Sometimes you just need to put in the work. Yes, there are times whereby God does do the work for you, like in times whereby the Israelites, they were having a war and they really had nothing to do, and God would tell them, stand still and let God move. There are times whereby God will just come through like that. But sometimes you need to put in the work. Don't just sit there and be like, oh no, God is going to do everything. No, because the Bible here is saying there were no bush of the fields because there were no men to work the ground. And it made sense because in the next verse, verse 7, it says, then the Lord God formed the man of dust from the ground. Dust from the ground. In other translations, it says mud. So, when I was little, I thought, when God said, let there be plants and all that, it was all green. There was grass and all that. But I was like, okay, wait, dust of the ground. So there was not that much, what's this, wild plants, or there were no wild plants actually. Let me not try to sugarcoat it. So it is really important to put in the work. Put in the work. That is